Shalom, call Aloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash, and Shanya Kubad, Kadwala Rakwab, Kwanyam Nawa, Wa'ashalayakim Nawa, and that's double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Shalom. Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakarim, Shali Asherala, and that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Yeah, and I have a few different, not even articles, I'm just on Google, and I'm going to stay on Google, but a few different pages I want to show you of shootings that happened throughout Babylon these past 2-3 days. People are going crazy with the GAT, and it's all over. And I'm bringing it out, obviously, because this is a part of biblical prophecy. Not only is it judgment happening from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, but he told us that people would be using the sword increasingly in these latter days. And so as you can see right here, shooting in Philly. And all these articles are very recent. See, this one's only 3 hours ago, 11 hours, 49 minutes, 1 hour. Right, 45 minutes again, 4 hours. So it says Philly mass shooting, 5 killed, 2 hurt. And I'll even refresh it for you so you can see. See? 3 hours, 12 hours, 27 minutes, 1 hour. Real recent. So in Philly, 5 killed, 2 hurt. Now this is in Fort Worth, in Texas, 1 hour ago, 37 minutes. I'll refresh it for you again. 1 hour, 44 minutes, 24 minutes. Shooting in Fort Worth leaves at least 3 dead and 8 others wounded. 3 dead, 8 injured after shooting in Fort Worth, Texas parking lot. And of course, how can we forget if there's a shooting anywhere, it's got to be in Baltimore too, right? They just got to be stupid. But it says 11 hours, 14 hours, 1 day, 18 hours, 2 days, 11 hours. Police search for shooters concerned for possible retaliation after Baltimore mass shooting. At least 2 dead, 28 wounded. The worst out of all 3 cities. Of course, at least 2 dead, 28 wounded in mass shooting at Baltimore block party, police say. And they ain't gonna find everybody. We know it's more than one. Probably a few people, maybe a handful. I'll say 3 to 5 people that was probably lighting things up. But you see it. You see what's going on around Babylon. And man, I mean, today's July 4th. You can't even blame it on the 4th. Like, man, this happened over the weekend, I'm sure, in all 3 cities. But this is exactly why you got to have discernment. And you can't just be going everywhere, especially in these end days. We know that it's going to get wild and hectic out here. Not saying that you can't do certain things, but don't be going to dumbass block parties. Don't be going to block parties, especially around areas where you know it usually gets lit like this. You know what I'm saying? It's no point. Use discernment, be wise, and that's why the scriptures say. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start off with that. I don't know where it is. I'm going to type it in. Old Testament. Did I spell it right? Oh, I didn't spell it right. D-I. Proverbs 2, verse 11. Discretion shall preserve thee. Understanding shall keep thee. I mean, that's straightforward, but let's get it in the NLT. In the NLT, Proverbs 2, verse 11. Wise choices will watch over you. Understanding will keep you safe. Point blank, period. And 2/3 of our people, they don't have discretion. They don't seek understanding. They don't care to learn or have wisdom. And that's the reason why they do these things. They get caught up in these different situations. But things are turning up in Babylon, and that's the real reason that I wanted to bring out those articles. And we're in the beginning right now of Jacob's trouble. We're not in Jacob's trouble. You can still go to work, go to the movie theaters, restaurants. Food is still out here abundantly to a certain extent. But right now, it's the very beginning. And when it really hits off, then all these things are going to catapult to a different degree. But this is 2nd Ezra 15, verse 14. And this is describing Jacob's trouble right here. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Now, we always say this, but we'll continue to do so because there's always somebody new watching. But back then, a sword was the main weapon of choice. That's what they used. Today, the main weapon of choice is the gun. So we always say the modern day sword is the gun. You have to speed these things up to the times that we're living in right now. That's how you make the Bible come alive. That's how it becomes relevant to you. So I'll read verse 15 again. It says, for the sword, now you should be reading that and hearing gun, and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, meaning the people in power, your government, senate, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, meaning people are going to be doing whatever they feel to be right in these end days in order to survive, especially when there's famine, especially when there's looting and robbing. A lot of people are going to say, well, I got to hop on this trend. I got to ride the wave, and they're going to go along with it. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's cities being quarantined and sectioned off. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, with the gun, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Now, more than likely, crap like this probably happened because it was a stupid argument that broke out. You know how niggas get. Can never just get together and have a peaceful time. It always got to be something. Oh, you talking about my girl, blah, blah, blah. You said what? And then boom, shots fired. Always something stupid. But in these end days, it's going to be give me your food type situations. Give me your food, hand me over your daughter, get out the house. I need a place to stay. And that's why you're going to be seeing shootings, people dead, others wounded. But you can see things are igniting, things are lighting up. Prophecy is jumping off the page. So many things happening. And once again, this is obviously judgment. And the scriptures talk about how the Lord's judgment proceeds forth in the earth every single day. And it's not even the fourth. Today's the fourth. People just going crazy. That's why you got to watch these holidays too. You got to watch these holidays and what you do around them as well. Because spirits are just invoked inside of people. And they just start doing crazy things. You don't want to get yourself caught up in the wrong place, wrong time. Anything can happen. That's why you always got to pray before you leave the house every day, holiday season or not. This is Isaiah, not Old Testament. Isaiah 19, verse 2. Let me get out the NLT. Isaiah 19, verse 2 says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Now, this is an end-time prophecy right here. And seeing as though another name for America is called Egypt, well, the people here in America, a.k.a. Egypt, are also or can also be referred to as Egyptians. Just like America is also called Babylon, well, these people can also be referred to as Babylonians. They can be referred to as Romans. Shoot. This is also Sodom. Everything. Nineveh. So when it says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. It's talking about here in America, the people here are going to be set adverse against one another. It says, and they shall fight every one against his brother. And guess what they're going to have in their hand? The sword, the modern day sword, the gun. And they shall fight every one against his brother, because who fights nowadays? I mean, it sucks. It's a damn shame. It's not like how it used to be, but nobody is scrapping out here like that. And even if they are, the loser always got to come back with his boys, and they got to grab the strap on them, and they got to light the dude up that beat him up. There's always some kind of retaliation that involves a gun. Always. It says, they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Point blank, period. It's only going to be more fierce too in these end days. I'll grab one more, and that's it. Matthew 24. We'll just get into more prophecies, things that are happening from a global standpoint all at the same time. Matthew 24, verse 4, it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. Now these were signs that Yahushua gave his men, so that they would be able to discern when he's returning. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am the anointed, and shall deceive many, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Famines, pestilences, earthquakes, and then it says nation against nation, so people rising up against people. And of course, kingdom against kingdom. The wars and rumors of wars. You have the Russia-Ukraine war. And then, of course, even talks about, there's even bigger talks now of Russia and the U.S. now. Everywhere. All these prophecies are hopping off the page at the same exact time. You can read different articles about every single last one of these prophecies, and that's how we know that we're living in the end days. And so, definitely, these different shootings are all prophecy as well, and it will increase in these latter days. However, we call ourselves a hopeful elect, and we're not to fret, we're not to get scared, but to believe and have faith in the Lord that he will protect us and keep us safe when Jacob's trouble is really manifested. So I pray that this video is edifying to the elect. Now is the time to get your spirit right with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Call Aloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.